Have you ever heard of the 9-word email? Today we're going to talk about what it is, when you should use it, and what happened when I sent this email to my list. So I'm playing around with the idea of doing a new video series on what I'm calling email experiments. So basically me testing out or weighing in on popular email marketing tactics that maybe you've heard of or maybe you've seen other marketers do. And I might share things that I've done with my list recently or things I've tried in the past with my list and what the results were and whether I would recommend them as an email marketer. And in this first video, I want to talk about the 9-word email. So the 9-word email is something that I have heard about from multiple different people, but the person that it originated from is a guy named Dean Jackson. I'll drop a link to a video with Dean Jackson explaining the 9-word email, but here is the basics of it. So the 9-word email is a way to revive dead leads. It's a really simple follow-up email where you're just asking people, hey, are you still looking for ... So I've seen him explain it where, people were selling houses in a specific area or luxury yachts, and they just send an email out to someone that had expressed interest in the past but had never bought, and they just say something simple like, are you still interested in a house in Cincinnati, Ohio? Or are you still planning a trip to Rome, Italy? And it's the 9-word email because some of the examples that he shared, it's just a simple sentence that's 9 words. It doesn't have to be literally 9 words though. You can do a 9-word email that's more or less, but the gist is that you want to just send that one sentence. You don't want to have a lot of preamble like, hey, how have you been? Kind of catch up stuff. You just want to simply ask them, hey, are you still interested in this? And now this can be a one-on-one email. It can be an email that you are sending out to individual people that you have had some interaction with in the past. That's how Dean Jackson is using it. So these are people that had maybe come in through a contact form, or they were someone that you'd spoken to before and they're in your list of leads to follow up with. But it's something that you can also do with your email list. And this is something that I've seen other people do and take this adapted idea and do their own version of the 9-word email. I've seen it done a lot of different ways with people that I am on their email list. So there'll be some that it's a really general email, like, are you still interested in help marketing your business? And there's some that it's a little bit more specific, like, I'm going to be in San Diego next month doing a workshop on blank topic. Are you interested? And the point of these emails is not to make it look like a marketing email that you would send to every other person on your list. It's meant to look very one-on-one. They're very plain emails. They're very simple text, and it looks like something that you might get from an individual. And the only reason I know that they're not individual emails to me is because they still have the footer stuff. They still have the unsubscribe link. They still have the address and stuff that you would get if you were sending it through your email service provider. But in every other way, these emails look super plain and look like something that I could have gotten from that actual person. So the point of this email is to start a conversation. And that's why you want it to feel really one-on-one, because people reply to individual emails way more than they would to email blasts that go out to a whole list. So even if you're setting it to your whole list, it can still feel really one-on-one with the formatting you choose. That you can make it really plain text. And so you can use it to your list like Dean Jackson does and try and send out, maybe you have a segment of your list that expressed interest in an offer. Maybe they clicked on a launch that you were doing and didn't end up buying. And maybe you want to follow up a little bit down the line and see, hey, were you still interested in help with this? And then from there, you can start those sales conversations and talk to people individually, get them on a sales call possibly. But another way you can use this, which I've seen other people doing, is to use it to gauge interest in a new offer. So maybe you are thinking about doing a course on something or a masterclass and you want to see, hey, are people on my list even interested in this before I put the time and effort into creating it? And so you could just say, hey, are you interested in this? Or would you be interested in a class on blank? And just see what you get back from your list. So I have been seeing the 9-word email floating around in online marketing circles for a while now, and I've seen other people do it, and I've always been curious what actually happens when you send one of these emails. I decided to try it out with my own business. So the reason I wanted to send a 9-word email was because I was considering putting together a new offer, and I wanted to gauge the interest on my list before I actually started developing it. I was thinking about offering Day of Voxer sessions, and maybe you know Voxer, maybe you don't. It's like this walkie-talkie app on your phone where you can talk back and forth with people. You can do text messages back and forth to people. It's something that I use with some of my business friends, and we chat back and forth on Voxer, but I wasn't sure how widely used it was with people that are in my audience, or if people that are in my audience would even be interested in working with me in that way. So I sent the 9-word email, which technically was an 11-word email. I just wrote, would you be interested in copy coaching and /strategy sessions via Voxer? And I made it super plain. I normally send very plain emails, but I took out all the formatting that I have on this one for margin size and font size. It did still have the footer information that you have with any email that you send from your email service provider. I use ConvertKit, so it had the unsubscribe, update your information link, and then my address, which is required for any email you send. But I had that spaced out, so like you wouldn't see it right away. You'd see the sentence, my name, and then there was a bit of space, and then that footer stuff. So it was still in there, but it wasn't like right at the end of the message. So it looked super personal. It really did look like an email that would have come straight from me. And based on some of the reactions I got, people did think it was straight from me. I just used quick Q as the subject line, super simple, like super casual. I didn't even capitalize it. It was just like something that you would get from a friend, from a personal email. And I sent that email and thought, let's see what happens. So first of all, the open rate for this was super high. I got a 43.1% open rate, which is higher than average for my list. It's a great open rate, so a lot of people were looking at it, I think, because it looked a little different, even from the subject line, that it was a little bit more simple and casual. And then I actually did get a ton of replies to this email. So I had a lot of people just simply say yes or no. I had some people say, oh, maybe, depending on, you know, what the price would be. I also got some questions about people asking, what is Voxer? And so I was able to start those conversations. I got a lot of people that were interested and wanted some more information, which was good. If I had had an offer ready to go, I could have led them to that, but this was just me trying to gather interest and see. And I even had some marketing friends spotting it and be like, oh, is this your 9-word email? I'm so curious to know how it's going. Something that I'm always wondering about when I try some of these like marketing tactics or like kind of things that are popular in email marketing that I don't usually do, I'm always wondering, okay, are people gonna be rude, or are people gonna like hate this? Because there are some things that people hate. I can talk about that in another video, but there are definitely things that I've tried that people are not into. But this one, no one was rude. Obviously, a lot of people didn't respond at all, which, you know, is normal. But for me, I got way more responses than I do to a normal email. So people were definitely thinking that this was something worth taking the time to reply to. But I didn't have anyone that was rude. It was really just like yes or no, or no, I'm not interested, or maybe let me have some more information. And I didn't even have a crazy high amount of unsubscribes. I think my unsubscribe rate was 1.5%, which is within a normal range. I think it's a little higher than like a normal newsletter email I send out, but it wasn't like 10% of my list unsubscribed because I did this. And for me, it was a successful experiment because it gave me what I wanted. I wanted to see if people would be interested in this offer, and based on the responses I got, I decided, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and develop this and test this out, and I have some people that would be interested that I can follow up with when it's ready. So would I use a 9-word email again, and do I think you should try it out? I would totally do this again, but I would not do this too often. Like, I could see people getting burned out by this, and it is a little gimmicky, and people probably the next time I do this aren't gonna automatically all think that it's an email from me. Especially if they see this video, they're gonna know that this is another 9-word email, so I'm kind of like exposing myself here. But I definitely think it's something worth trying, and I definitely think it's a great way to engage people that have shown some interest before, and you could do that either one-on-one or with some tagging in your email marketing system. Or you can do like I did, engage interest in something that new that you're thinking about developing before you put all the time and energy and effort into creating an offer that it turns out no one cares about. So overall, I'd say give the 9-word email a try, experiment on it with your own list, and let me know what you think. So is there an email marketing trend or tactic that you'd like to see me experiment with? Let me know in a comment below what you'd like to see, and I can test it out for you. And if you want to be part of my next experiment, be sure to get on my email list. I'll leave a link below where you can sign up. And then next time I try something out, you can see the experiment in real time. Anyway, thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you next time.